Hello there. This is just a thank you video to say thank you for getting to 200 subscribers. It was 200 more than I ever thought I'd get. I started this YouTube journey just over a year ago now. And I started with a book I always liked as a kid. The Usborne Adventure Stories Island of Secrets. But this is not my first Usborne book, no. Back when I was a kid, I started off with my ZX81. This is the ZX81 I had as a child. It's been refurbished and fixed because it was broken. And the first game I ever typed in was from Usborne Computer Space Games, and it was Starship Takeoff, which runs in 1K. A game where you are on an alien planet, you've got to take off. It's a very simple guessing game, but it's simple code, presented nicely, copiously commented to know what was going on, and you typed it in on this keyboard, which had zero feedback, no audio feedback, no tactile feedback. You just had to keep pressing the keys. I saw a tip recently which says, put it in fast mode, where the screen goes black every time you press enter, and then you'll see a screen flicker slightly out of the corner of your eye, which is the trick. So, that's where I started. I started with Island of Secrets. The reason I started, I wanted to do something creative. And I couldn't do anything fancy, because I'm not a particularly fancy man. But I liked this game as a kid, and I played it on emulator about 5 or 6 years ago, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought, oh, I'll do a video on that. Has someone already done it? Yes, someone already had. So I watched their video, and there was no audio, no commentary, and they had trouble leaving the first... No, they had not had trouble. They couldn't leave the first area. I thought, well, if that's a video on YouTube, I could probably do better. And then I left a comment on an Octavius video where they had trouble turning on an Amiga. I've never owned an Amiga. They had trouble turning it on. And people all just take the piss out of them for doing that. So I made a comment saying something like, well, you know, people take the piss out of you for not turning on an Amiga, but I watched a video where someone couldn't leave a room. Then I felt a bit bad. That was a bit mean. The problem was they didn't put caps lock on. If you don't put caps lock on in this, you type a command like N for north. What? North. What? Go north. What? Help. What? And they gave up, because, well, why wouldn't you? It's difficult. And I thought, that's a bit mean, and what if they say to me, you know what, I'd like to see you do better. So I thought, well, I'd better try and do better. So I did this, and I thought, okay, split it into parts. And the book is lovely, because it starts off with the background story, which I did as basically a glorified slideshow. It took me about 3 hours to do, and then I got the audio wrong. The video was only 5 minutes long. That was my first video. Uploaded that. Then I started with a gameplay, where you go around this lovely map. It's all text-based, no pictures. The pictures are all in the book. And you have to look at the pictures and solve the mystery that way. I typed all that in, and my sister said, oh, by the way, in your first video, there's no sound after 30 seconds, because I got it wrong. So that's where I started. I then moved on to other Spectrum books, and I then started looking at this book, which I had as a kid, always enjoyed, Fantasy Adventures. I thought, I'll do a video on this. Oh, no one's typed it in yet. That's a shame, I can't do it. Then I thought, well, if no one's typed it in, I could type it in, and that would be unique content. So I typed it in. It took about a week, well, a week of evenings. It was quite hot, but this time last year I was drunk as well, which helps. And then I debugged it, and it's rather good fun. You sort of wander around a dungeon fighting monsters. And it's all beautifully illustrated as usual. And from there, I've moved on. I've got my ZX81 back. This is my most popular video on the ZX81. Over 200 views now, which was an epic tale of buying televisions. I've got my ZX81 manual. I've also now got Sinclair Spectrum Plus 2, which is upstairs. I've got a Div V MMX coming from the Future's 8-bit, which is a high-tech gizmo. Slots into the back, gives you a sort of fancy drive axis, all very posh. That's coming today in the post. And I've started looking at, very, very slowly, machine code. Because if you want to do something fast on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, machine code's the way to go. Machine code is a little bit tricky, and it's easy to get wrong, but it's where we need to go. So I'm still doing games, typing games mostly. I also stream on Twitch. The big project I'm slowly working on in my head is a war game based on Robert Kett's Rebellion, because he's local. I've got a shelf full of books he's play with, and loads and loads of dressing up to do. Hopefully you'll enjoy the stuff I get up to, and thank you for watching so far. Cheerio.